like and subscribe. Hi YouTube. This is post trauma. I try to say trauma, and drama at the same time, but this is post drama me. After learning about the drama, this has been pretty crazy. It's one of those where like she could probably, no spoilers. I decided not to edit this video, probably because if there's someone that has come across this and this is the first time hearing about the drama, I don't really want to cut stuff out to leave anything out really. So it's definitely that excuse. It's not the fact that it's 2 hours long and I'm lazy cutting it down. No, 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 definitely not. Anyway, hope you enjoy.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be talking about some big VTuber related drama involving one of the largest indie VTubers on the scene, and that is of course Sinder, who is now losing a lot of her own fans as well as some of her connections to peers over a barrage of Google Docs that were released yesterday that show many negative things about her from behind the scenes, making a very clear picture that she is someone who is very manipulative, she's paranoid, and very deceitful, and even targets these things not just to anyone, but to some people within the VTubing scene who considered her a friend. She was
Bro, what is happening in 2025, man? It's like the year of backstabs. this is this is crazy. 2025, the year of backstabs, I guess.
doing all of this, actively sabotaging some of her own friends in private, trying to hurt their career, all to line her own pocket, to make sure she's the one still on top and that these other people are no longer a threat to her. So we're going to be talking about several Google Docs here. We're going to kind of weave our way through them to get more context as we go. And I promise you it's definitely worth kind of trudging through this video to get more and more context, because as you get more context, the more unhinged all of this gets. And of course, for brevity's sake, I'm not going to read through every single document. You can do that on your own. They're very easy to find on Twitter right now, but I'm just going to quickly.
Yeah, I ain't reading all of that, man. This is why we have Rev and other commentator YouTubers, man. We just put a lot of trust in that they're not gonna lie. I mean, they'll actually, there's no point in lying because there's several other commentary YouTubers that will probably call out their BS. So I guess
Summarize the key points and give you some good context to work with here. So let's begin with this individual right here. This was the first Google Doc released onto Twitter by the user Nanolus, and this Google Doc, or at least the tweet sharing it, has 8 million views, to give you an idea of how big of a deal this is. Okay, so who's this individual? Well, they're an artist who works primarily with VTubers, working with some of the biggest people in the industry, including some very large agency VTubers like Iron Mouse,
Silver Veil, bro, Buff Pop, Zen, Iron Mouse. That's Apricot, right? I'm not recognizing any other. This is not Snuffy, right? This, right? It kind of looks like her. I don't know. Don't crucify me in the comments, okay? Yeah.
and also some of the biggest indie VTubers like Sinder, as well as Silverveil, who will also be a part of this story today. So let's begin with the intro of her Google Doc. So she says this: I wanted to share my experience with Sinder and Red manipulating me, using me, and dragging me into drama while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought were her closest friends. Not only do I no longer wish to work with Sinder, but I want to share what I've endured over the years and shed light on what she has been doing behind people's backs to protect artists and friends that may be experiencing something similar. Note, based on working with redacted or Red, Cinder's
Oh, I was about to ask who's Red.
manager. And Cinder, over the years, uh, I am sure that they speak for one another, and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Cinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it refers to both of them acting as a team. So the first thing to
Okay.
cover here is who is this redacted or red individual who's being mentioned many times. And it's important to understand who they are because their name will come up over and over again, especially in a lot of the early screenshots we're going to be seeing. So this is the redacted individual, Red, as they're known here, and this is their pinned tweet on social media, and they are Cinder's manager. Now, I picked this pinned tweet to show because I recognize this image. It's from WeebCon 2024, where I was a featured guest, and I mention this because I attended it in person and I got a bird's eye view of everything going on at the convention. And there was a lot of big names at this convention, especially from the VTubing scene. But I don't think anyone was as big as Cinder. She brought in a lot of people to this convention.
Yeah,
Her meet and greet line
this is crazy. Like, how do you get so big and like? To be fair, I don't know. I just know from this video that it's a backstab, but I, how? What has she done? Like, dude, how do you get this big and then you like just destroy everything? Like, you can't see ahead of time that hey, this might come back to bite my ass. I mean, like, first you just don't be an a hole. That's one thing. That's the first thing you need to do. Is just don't be an a hole. But other than that, if you are an a hole, shouldn't you be like paranoid that this could happen? It's crazy to me.
was out the door. Her merch was flying off the shelves. Every event, including the concert she participated in, was filled to the brim with fans. She was a very big deal. Now, I bring that up not to like gas her up or something, but to show that she is doing very well financially. She is at the top of the VTubing scene,
She
at least
is, man.
independently, and she doesn't really have a need for more money and more fame, as it would seem to the normal person, which makes her actions, where she's privately sabotaging her own friends in the industry, even more crazy because it's
Whoa. Actively sabotaging other people. This is like if it's not for like I guess it could be greed, but like why uh, you're big enough that you have money, right? And you can get deals and stuff like that, but like to actively sabotage, I think this is just a level of like jealousy or narcissism to want to be better than other people. You have to be because doing it for money just makes no sense to me. I don't know. I just can't comprehend her doing it for money. Like she's big enough. This is man. What the hell, dude? I don't know. I see big creators like screw up, and I'm like, bro, you had this amazing job, and you decide to throw everything away. Why?
totally unnecessary with her circumstances. Now, continuing on with this red individual, you can see this response to what we'll see is Cinder's first and only response to this entire thing, getting actually ratioing her. Okay, this is from Van Peaches. She's someone who's been around the ASMR and VTubing scene for many years. She said
Mm,
this: I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then, before we met for
oh,
TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip, as if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So she just blamed her manager, quote unquote, well, apparently her boyfriend. I mean, they could probably have planned it together. Like, you know what, you take the heat. You're not really in the sphere as much. You were down as like the manager anyways, and she's the content creator. So I guess they could have done that, like to mitigate the amount of hate going towards Cinder. So I can see why they did it and probably how they did it.
Now, this is crazy. Once again, for the thousandth time in the VTubing scene, the VTuber manager turns out to also be the secret boyfriend. Many, many,
Yeah,
many such cases. But this is very messy because there seems to be an issue of loyalty here. Now, there was another Google Doc that was released by this Rain individual who is part of the ASMR scene who shared this, detailing their experience with Cinder in private, where at the time, seemingly when Cinder was with this red individual, the manager boyfriend, she was cheating on him with this guy via sexual personal messages and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and read through all this. It's very clear, and the
oh
context is
rip.
abundantly clear that everyone involved
Okay, scrap what I said before, man. Scrap what I said before. Damn, I didn't think anyone could go more unhinged after like backstabbing friends. Uh, because I I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but I can see her people backstabbing friends, quote unquote, especially if they're like in the same scene and they do the same work. But like backstabbing your significant other it seems like a step further for me. But now seeing that apparently she cheated, oh god, that makes sense.
in this knew Cinder was in a relationship, and she was venting embarrassing details of their relationship to this guy, and also they were sharing sexual messages and seemingly also like not safe for work uh, photos possibly and stuff like that. Clearly there was that sort of thing going on here, and of course this person's no saint. They're interfering with a relationship and all that, but it just proves there's a very big question of loyalty with Cinder, and we're going to
Yeah,
see that pretty
it's backstab your friends, cheat on your boyfriend, throw your boyfriend under the bus, to mitigate the hate coming towards you. Yeah, loyalty is not in her vocabulary. It just isn't at this point.
much replicated among her friendships throughout this video. And this is the response. And I guess she's not even loyal to the manager boyfriend because her first and only response to this situation currently is this tweet that she made shortly after the first Google Doc was released. And it seems like an attempt to get on top of this, but it's just backfiring. So she said, effective immediately, redacted, will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry, everyone.
god.
I'll make a larger response when I'm able. So, as we saw,
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Bro, how I could see it if they were like working together thinking like, yeah, you should probably take the heat so she can continue working. But this is crazy, man. Oh, how could you, man? I
Van
just don't
Peaches would
understand it.
correct Cinder in the replies and ratio her, saying, by the way, this was your boyfriend the whole time, and I predicted you would do this. But also keep in mind, with these sort of teaser apologies where they're like hinting at what they're going to discuss in the apology that's going to come out whenever, it's about what you mention and what you don't mention. And the only thing she really mentions here is redacted, basically kicking the VTuber manager boyfriend to the side and saying, oh, I'm sorry about everything he did. And that's really all she covers. She doesn't
Yeah.
cover anything she said herself or any of the really crazy stuff we're going to be seeing in these Google Docs. But yeah, not a very good start. But let's return to the Google Doc, the initial one from Nanolis, saying this, slandering other creators. I will start with screenshots showing them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me that it's all in our best interest. In addition to spreading ill rumors, they also complain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work, and referring there to, I guess, either a joint effort between
Wait,
those parties or Cinder's, not really sure. But, anyways, it says resulting in the editor
I'm assuming. Hmm. Okay, this is weird. Like, at that point, it's just down to the editor, right? Because they'll be doing the amount of work they can do, and if they go over that, it's kind of like on the editor. Because I don't know, like, because they're all freelancers, right? The editors are freelancers. They work with other people, and trying to police that via like a creator is kind of crazy because I see it as like it's down to the editor. Like the editor, surely the editor can just say no, right, for a video. I'm sure that's the case.
editor not having any time for new clients, which will be important later on. The screenshots below show them showing their affection and appreciation, immediately followed by spreading rumors and lies to make other clients appear problematic to
Oh my
manipulate
god.
any future decisions regarding commissions. Now, they
I learned about recently, I say recently, like 2 months ago or something like that, about the drama with Lena, Lena Laser. Uh, there was that girl who was like uh bad mouthing her to like other creators, making her seem like a problem to them until it like all came out. This is sounding so familiar. Like, why? Why do people do this? Like, you can't just sit in your own corner. Like, uh, I don't know. It's weird.
share various screenshots proving what they just said. But because we had the name drop here, that is, of course, Bao the Whale. He was another very successful independent VTuber who would
I
make
love
her
Bao.
own response to this situation, her own Google Doc, because she was hurt by someone she considered a friend discovering all these messages that are trying to blackball her,
Oh,
at least
that is pain. That must be daunting to oh have a friendship with someone. All you know is just smiles and like you guys talking to each other, probably confiding with each other if you are friends, and or like at least think you're friends, and then finding out they've just been talking so much crap about you, and effectively trying to blackball you. That's crazy. That's crazy to think, man. I couldn't comprehend my friends doing that. I mean, if they're gonna talk a bunch of BS, they'll probably do it to my face, man. They'll probably just say it outright to me. So, oh, this. I guess this is the difference between like IRL friends and like friends over the internet. Like, now hang on. To be honest, I haven't met Tyler IRL. We just missed each other. We were meant to like meet IRL at some point, but then I had to leave. I had to move across the country, so I guess he's still my online friend, but I don't know. I can comprehend it. He doesn't think of me like outside of us gaming. He probably doesn't.
least with some of the artists she wishes to work with in the industry. So she would share some of this in her Google Doc. And you can see at the beginning, she clarifies again, as Nana listed, that because she was close and worked with Cinder for years and considered her a friend, she can say, based on her experience, that Cinder and Red collaborate to the extent in which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. And they believe that basically any effort done by Red is something that was known about and approved by Cinder, which is not surprising given the fact it's the
Mm.
manager boyfriend. Okay, so let's get into some of the things that were
This is why you shouldn't mix work, man, with pleasure. You shouldn't, especially. I don't know. It's just weird, man. Having like your significant other uh just stepping into like your workplace, it's tricky, man. Especially if stuff goes wrong between the relationship, it affects your work as well. So like, it's just a no go. You should there's a couple of things in life that you should probably separate from your significant other, right? Uh, I think work is one of them. I think having that separation is safe for both parties.
said about Bao. So in March of 2024, I announced that one of my subathon goals was a live 2D model. Nanolis was going to be the live 2D illustrator. So if you're not familiar with what that means, basically she set a sub goal where she would then commission Nanolis to make a new model for her, some sort of uh, enhancement of whatever she already had. And that is a very big endeavor. I believe Nanolis's commissions for a VTuber model are like 10 grand. Like they're very, very expensive
Jesus.
investments.
Jesus. 10K. To be fair, the small time I've worked with Live 2D Illustrator, okay, the quality of VTubers out there and the amount of people that Nanolist was worked with, okay, I can kind of see it because it's just if the demand goes up, keeping the price low, you're gonna have several like people just trying to commission you, and you'll just be bogged down with work. So, I mean, know your worth, man. Know your worth. I don't think it's that too far fetched or that too not too expensive because the industry is booming, man. But it's just it's crazy to think. Like I'm sat here with my 5 minutes craft 2D Canadian duck South Park inspired pngtuber, and she has thousands of dollars worth of like of a model, and she's probably gonna complain about not the nonetheless not having enough time. I'm assuming that's what it's leading to. Bro, you already have a model. Like you could probably wait, man.
So this is a pretty
Surely.
big thing to do. And also, it seems very clear from the jump here that Bao was very excited about this opportunity to work with Nanolis because her models are very good. Hence why so many people who are at the top of the industry work
Oh
with.
right, it's Bao getting the thing. Oh, okay. So it's Cinder or red or redacted gatekeeping when Bao wanted a new skin. Okay. Oh, that's so slimy. That's so slimy. Considering they uh, Bao thought of them as friends. Oh, that is slimy as fuck.
with her. But she continues on. After she finished both the design and base model sketch, there was suddenly back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased a screenshot of the model sketch on Twitter, but I had also grown very attached to the design and showed it to all my friends in a private group chat that Sinder was a part of. I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat comforting and reassuring me. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Cinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nanolis. So you can
What?
see this screenshot that we'll see multiple times throughout these docs here. Basically trying to set up an exclusivity deal with Nanolis. So Redacted here saying, what about we pay you X and you don't have to discount it from the next payment and we'll continue giving you lots of model work, I think like around 4 years right now, but you don't work with Bao, a sensor name at all
Oh my god.
again.
Oh
Models
my.
or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with Bao before. Also,
Oh no. Like saying that and putting like emotes. Oh, that's so cringe. I hate that so much. Like, to be fair, I kind of get it's red, they probably aren't friends or close with Bao and all these other VTubers, but like she has to know, right? This is crazy.
So we have some other work, yada, yada, yada. So what they're trying to say is if you agree to this, we'll pay you a certain amount to just work exclusively with us and not with anyone else in the industry, which is already kind of a potentially scummy move, right? You're trying to like gatekeep this artist, but someone having an exclusive artist isn't exactly a
Yeah,
crazy thing. But
it's not a crazy thing. I think yeah, get commissioning, especially like if the artist is like, because it's down to the artist really, um, and the artist can go, yeah, pay me a little more, like they said here, and sure, but I don't think it's crazy like that. It's just the fact that Bao was apparently their friend, and they did this. This is crazy. But like the whole gatekeeping thing, gatekeeping is pretty bad, and I do hate it. But it's one of those like, it's an industry. I think a lot of companies do that. You know, like uh, to sweeten the deal of working with us, we'll give you this, but then you don't work with these people. It's common. Should I care about it? I don't know. It's tough, man. It's just the friend element being there is what makes this bad for me personally.
in this case, it is because one of the targets, Bao, was their friend.
Yeah.
They're basically chopping off contact with an artist that Bao already works with through this exclusivity agreements. And that is something pretty messed up, if you ask me. Trying to literally sabotage their own career and some of their activities so they can basically keep reins on this artist because they don't want this artist to enhance the careers of the people around them. But they get even crazier down here. They say, we could do it when blank asks for art, you tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece. Like, so you get another job from it. Which we'll find out, spoiler alert, this is Silvervale, by the way. They're
Whoa.
so hung up on this exclusivity thing, they'll literally just make up things to commission just to make sure these other parties are not getting anything from this artist. It's a pretty crazy.
Why Silvervale, man? I love Silvervale. She's pretty cool. The amount of clips that I watched and videos I watched from her, she's pretty cool. And the whole thing with the whole drama with the Hogwarts legacy, dude, that made I wasn't like a watcher, a fan, like as in like I watch all of his stuff or watch his streams, but like that that pissed me off. Like I got so mad like watching her video of her crying uh about these unhinged losers online just trying to destroy her for playing a video game.
crazy
Like
endeavor
why
that they're
would you
going
do
for with
this?
this stuff. But let's talk about the other things that were said about Bao. There's a bunch of screenshots. Again, I'm just going to sum them up for the sake of brevity here, where they tried to pepper Nanolis with a very negative image of Bao. And then they present the exclusivity of
Okay, this is what makes this bad. This is what makes it really bad for me. Like the friend thing is bad, but like you tearing them down, like you can just you don't have to do this. I mean, this is why I don't mind the exclusive stuff because you pay more to keep them to gatekeep the creator, sure, but then you talk all this BS about another creator just so you can keep them. I don't like this. This is the extra slimy stuff that I don't like. This is just terrible, man.
event or agreement. They want to make it seem like Bao is this unreliable, bad person who's going to ultimately be a disappointment for Nanolis. So you might as well sign this exclusivity agreement with us. That's what they were going for. They were saying stuff about how she's been trying to take away some of their editors that they're convinced
Right.
that she tried to.
I'm guessing this Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. Okay. We've gotten to know her better, being friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way. Okay, man. With the things she does. Notice how they're using we, and we've gotten uh yeah, this she has to know. We wanted to try and safeguard our most important artist from her. Why? See, she's already taken our editor, bro. You're crazy. You're actually insane that you think that still these are freelancers. You're getting mad that freelancers are getting work from other places. Ah, this is levels of brain damage. How much ego do you have? These are freelancers. The clue is in the name. They work with. They do commissions. Are you dumb? They're not like employed by a company. And I don't mean to take in like he doesn't work with us anymore. He does, but he has dedicated time for her now and sometimes gets in the way of our projects. That's down to the editors, man. If the editors aren't getting like the work that you want done on time, you know what the answer to that is? Very simple. There's plenty of editors online that you could contact. And being a big name like Sinder, vtuber, you can contact other editors. Or imagine if there was a concept of like a job where like you do commissions, and you could call it like freelancers, right? And then you can just go and commission that another one if the one that you're working with just doesn't work out or is busy with other stuff. Oh my god, my brain hurts trying to think of this crazy concept. Why?
Convince these editors to no longer work with Redacted and Cinder, and that she's trying to bark up the tree of one of their live 2D animators, and that it's so annoying, and that she has all these issues. It's really just lined out here. She's been getting on their nerves for a while. She hijacked their YouTube editor,
Yeah,
constantly
she's
picking up artists that they work with, barking up the tree of the live 2D animators. And also, as pointed out right down here, she has a way of guilt tripping people to get her way.
oh my god, the irony. Sorry, Rev, I just paused here. I know you're gonna say it, but the irony, dude, it's crazy.
Which is an incredibly ironic thing for Redacted to be saying in this context. But as you can see, it just continues on with more things trying to basically push down these other creators and form this exclusivity agreement that will ultimately work to the benefit of Cinder and to the detriment of the other potential clients. But of course, we had that whole thing where they had to cancel their endeavor with Bao. They had this model in the works and
Oh
they had to come out of
man.
nowhere and basically say, "Yeah, I gotta cancel this because, well, I have these issues going on and I don't
Wait,
because nowhere."
let me go back. Don't sell yourself short. I think she'd be fine with taking the design and finding someone else. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price. If she starts, oh, okay, man. Yeah, you're right. I'll talk to her today. We'll also close the model inquiry opening that was. And Nanolis was trying to be nice, man, saying like I can give a design for free as an apology gift, which I don't agree with. I think you spent some time. I know it's you're canceling on something, but you you spent some time on the work on the model. You should probably get paid for it, especially if you're giving it off to someone else or to like continue your work. I think you should ask for some money for it, but like ultimately, like, oh man, it's just bad. It's bad. Like, I don't know.
And basically say, yeah, I gotta cancel this because, well, I have these issues going on and I don't have time for it, the capacity for it. And again, it serves towards this exclusivity agreement, which again, let's shift gears back to the original Google Doc. I know it's like all over the place, but that's how we're working through this stuff. There is a section about exclusivity and blacklisting other creators. And you can see in the messages below, they mention wanting an exclusivity contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity, but rather when a creator from their blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Sinder only. And if anyone asked for my commissions, they commissioned me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. This felt very strange, given that one of the
Oh my
accusations they
god.
made was overworking their editor, yet their solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me.
Yeah, that is crazy. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, if Bao was doing that, and that's crazy that they'll go, "Oh my god, I can't believe she done this." Okay, so I'm gonna do this to her right now. What? Uh,
To keep me from working on other projects. And again, yes, the irony is pretty palpable here, but again, referring to some of the stuff down here, the pressure that they're trying to line up over this whole exclusivity thing is crazy. You also see one of our concerns is that more nano babies means nano models don't have the same value anymore. So, in case you don't know what
what?
the nano babies things means, it basically means one of the vtuber models she created that they would be referred to as nano babies, right?
Okay.
And they're trying to put pressure on nanolists, saying if you keep making more models and you keep working with more people and, making a living for yourself, you're going to make these models less valuable for Cinder and you're going to hurt her bottom line. You can see the angle they're going for right there, but there's
What?
also some more redacted sections over here. But Cinder
That's uh, so the more people they work with, the less valuable Cinder's model will be. I again, this is down to the artist. It's one of those things where like the artists, if they're getting so many like commission requests, they can just like put up their price, bring up the price a bit more and a bit more until like they got a comfortable rate of models to be working on, and that's just how things work. It's the opposite. Like I don't know. It it's so dumb. I'm pretty sure it's the opposite, right? Because you're not gonna keep the price the same always, because you're gonna get loads more like requests, and you're just not gonna have time to get through everything. So this is just how the market works. The best bet is to mitigate the amount of time. Sorry, I'm using mitigate a lot now. The word of the day, mitigate. The amount of time that to do these commissions, you bump up the price to lower your pool of commissions. This makes no sense.
herself would respond to this whole point about the nano babies not having the same value anymore. And she would say this in response to Nanolis saying, "Hey, Cinder, hope you're
Oh,
doing okay. I
I thought I thought it was just gonna be between Red and okay. I would have said by the end of this, she might have had a leg to stand on if she has never communicated like this to the artist. Okay. Well, that's gone out the window.
talked with Red, and I believe he talked to you already. I thought it would be best if I just checked here personally. Actually, I wanted to know better your thoughts because Red tried to talk to me, and I think I misunderstood things." He asked, "What's up?" And they say, oh, it's mostly this, referring to the diminishing value of these nano babies as they work with more clients. I thought on canceling some models because of it, but then I realized it's not really fair to me. They're starting to realize, wait a second, this isn't very fair. Where Sinder responds by saying, I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. That is the
Okay.
quote that people are taking away from this. We've heard other infamous quotes in the VTubing scene that have backfired or presented themselves as very ironic with context, but the whole thing about it's just business at the end of the day is a perfect summation of what's going on here. It's all just business to Cinder. And
This way, make IRL friends, guys. If you're creators, just make IRL friends. Because holy heck, I guess the divide of like uh being across the internet and speaking to them like through VTuber models and everything, it just apparently just doesn't have the same connection. Apparently, to some people. So save yourself the trouble. Just stick to your online IRL friends, man.
that's okay, right? On its face. It's okay to treat this like a business and to try to maximize your opportunities, but when you're already at the top of the VTubing scene and you're privately going around and sabotaging the careers of your own friends and other peers, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy behavior. Now, let's go back to this right here. You're seeing some more redacted names. Don't work with blank ever again. Down here, again, you don't work with these people ever again. And there was also this mention about when someone asks for art, this particular individual. Well, we know who this individual is now. It is
Silvervale,
Silvervale,
oh
another
man.
person who is very popular in the VTubing scene and really just content creation in general.
Yeah.
And she made her own
She's a Warframe player as well. I've seen a couple of clips, so she's good in my books. I'm kidding.
statement about this because, based on context, she figured out a lot of these mentions were about her. But this is an interesting one because she's not friends with Cinder. In fact, a lot of the details we're going to see is a lot of pressure being put on Silvervale by Cinder to form a business relationship or a forced friendship, really just for financial opportunities, that leaves Silvervale uncomfortable and constantly rejecting Cinder and her ideas regarding those things I just mentioned. But let's begin
That
with the
is
intro.
that is crazy. Like seeing how she treats her friends. I mean, how would she treat colleagues? Man, this is crazy.
From Silvervale, saying her intention is to give herself closure of these events that personally affected her. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected. I want to note, as others have, that a majority of the messages are from redacted Cinder's manager. I find it
Mm,
impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly and professionally. And she talks about
yeah.
some of these situations involving
Uh,
things we've already talked
I wouldn't give much credence to this, apart from the fact that they were dating. That's her boyfriend. That's the only thing that's destroying the argument of yeah, he could have done this on his own. There's just no way. It's a really screwed up relationship if I'm thinking of it. Like, I guess on the off chance that like the boyfriend is overprotective of Cinder, I guess I could see that, but I don't know, man. I easily see it from them just doing that, mostly because of the interaction. they had with Nanolist, Cinder has. So it's not far fetched to me.
talked about. But the big part here is now the reveal that this exclusivity agreement not only targeted Bao and this censored name, but also Silver. And then directly mentions Silvervale down here, saying if Silver ever asks for art, you tell her no, and then we'll buy you another piece of art. Like I said, literally burning their own money just to make sure
That
Silvervale doesn't
is
have an
crazy.
opportunity to work with this artist. Pretty wild stuff. But of course, we look through everything and it's getting pretty unhinged. So, down here we see
It
Cinder
can't get
making
any worse, surely.
a claim that we'll see repeated multiple times. So, when Nanolis starts saying that they're sorry for stepping back on this exclusivity deal, that they wanted to apologize personally to Cinder, and that they've talked with Red as well, and they don't want to be dragged into personal issues and drama and stuff like that, and that they don't want to basically abandon Silvervale as a client, and it's destroying their mentality to do that kind of a deal. Cinder says, I get it, Nano, and it was unfair to push this on you.
I mean, see, she knows. There's just, yeah. I mean, there's no way she can fall back on. It's just that makes no sense. She tried to blame him only when you have messages like this. There's no way you try. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Oh, okay.
But it's just really confusing going back and forth about it. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today. And it's like I'm always living in someone's shadows, which is one reason why
Oh
Red
my god, the guilt trip. Oh, okay, dude. Yeah, this is so crazy. She's a big creator. She sees herself living in Silvervale's shadow while casting a big shadow herself. Like, bro, you are up there. There is. Oh my god, this just makes no sense. It's just it's just a person that can only look up, and that's all they can see. They never look down to appreciate where they're standing. Not one bit. It just why, man? It's greed. Is it envy? I don't know, man.
asked you about not making any more models for her. So you can see that this comparison to Silvervale is just living rent free in her mind. And also just speaking casually here, like I don't really get the connection that much.
Nah. And when you said, "I understand if things don't work out," it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore, which hurts so much after all this time. Oh my god, this is manipulation 101. She's the author of it. This is
And also
crazy.
I would say Cinder really shouldn't be so threatened by everyone around her. Like I said, she's up at the top. I don't know why she's so
Yeah,
hostile
like why are you looking at around like everyone's your enemy? It it makes no sense. Like it's just crazy. She has not appreciated where she is, and this is just evident from all of this. I don't understand. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
to everyone that's even close to her. But of course, this mention of someone kind of ripping off their brand, reminding people too much of themselves or being compared to, is something we've seen before with Nyan Tails here. Okay, someone from the ASMR scene pointing out that a couple years back they were dogpiled by their community, by Cinder's community, because she decided to make a Cuddles with a Lonely Hellhound ASMR audio. Okay, so in case it wasn't clear already, Cinder has a Hellhound themed VTuber, and people in her community seeing that someone had the audacity to try to claim any sort of ownership of a hellhound concept, even making an ASMR roleplay audio using the concept of a hellhound. They
It's
thought that was ripping off Cinder. And people in the community were saying stuff like, you're cringe. She was getting dogpiled, had to remove a lot of this stuff because of the overwhelming dogpiling. And you can see on tweets like this, liked by Cinder. And also
wow.
redacted as well. Not too surprising. But this pettiness and this crazy notion that she owns the concept of a hellhound.
I mean, Cerber's a hellhound. It's I don't know, man. It's weird. Let's look back at the thumbnail. I can. It might be inspired, but like, how much can you like? What do you think of a hellhound? A dog with fire, right? Like Cerber is like kind of an outlier. She she calls herself a hellhound. She's a hell puppy. But yeah, there's so much you can do, man. It's like Pal World and Pokemon. There's plenty of pals that hey, the inspirations are super heavy and borderline copyright, but apparently it's not. But there are certain pals that are like, bro, what can you do with a sheep? Like, how else are you meant to like do a sheep? There's only so much you can like innovate on a simple concept like a hellhound. It's a if they're female, it'll be a dog girl with fire. There's only so much you can do. It's just dumb, man. This is thought policing, man. This is thought policing disguised as like copyright infringement.
And
You know,
also redacted as well. Not too surprising. But this pettiness and this
it's so petty.
crazy notion that she owns the concept of a hellhound and is supporting people dogpiling on this other creator
Good one, Rev. Dogpiling. Good one.
because she dared to use the concept for an ASMR roleplay is wild. The unbelievable pettiness is crazy and also just reminiscent of a better time when likes were public. Ah, miss those days.
Oh, dude, we need likes back, man. Not because I'm on Twitter. I retweeted something and then posted one tweet recently, and that's about it. I've watched like a plenty of videos of like people getting outed on Twitter for liking stuff. So like I want those back, man.
It used to be such a good tool, but let's go back to the art or the Google Doc from Silvervale. And this is the most brutal section. If you hung in there for the, oh my God, 25 minutes we've been talking, okay, this
Bro, I've been recording for almost an hour, man. Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there.
to me is the most brutal, hard watch of this entire thing.
Oh God. I thought this was okay, he's wrapping up. This should be fine now. Oh, I thought he was gonna mention like probably the last few minutes other VTubers reactions or something, but oh God, it gets worse.
It's just embarrassing. And again, the greediness is off the charts. So it's titled Cinder and I. Discovering that all of this was going on behind the scenes has been gut wrenching. I didn't know Cinder. We weren't friends, and we have barely talked. Even writing this, I do not understand what I could have possibly done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was cordial as possible, but I just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. From the few uncomfortable interactions I did have with her, I had gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder.
Oh, yeah, it's probably easy to see that. You can probably sense that from a mile away, especially if if you're a creator like Silver, yeah, you can probably recognize that throughout the years. Like, who wants the collab to just get a step up on the ladder? Really? Oh man, ugh,
and grow her
slimy
brand.
stuff.
And she goes on to say, like, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine, but I just don't want to be associated with someone like that at all. Just trying to pretend to be a friend for the purposes of growing their brand. So then we get this screenshot saying the only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greets at TwitchCon 2023. I had just finished my meet and greet, and as I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. And you can see Sinder cosplaying her own character talking to Silvervale on the meet and greet, the virtual meet and greet. And she
Okay.
captioned it, "Stop by to say hi after my meets. Wolf girls," like trying to imply like they're united and they're in this together, even though this was the first conversation they ever had. It's like a very lame attempt to present this fake friendship or a fake mutual respect here, and to somehow maybe try to gain some of her community as a result. Very strange stuff.
Uh, okay. I'm gonna go and then I'll be honest with this. The I was not informed of this picture or asked permission. It's. I mean, I guess I think to myself like it's probably nice to ask, but like you're it's bad just to do it, but like I don't think it's as bad just getting a picture taken. Um, in the setting that this is, you know, obviously like if it's in a different situation, it's really bad. But this is like a convention, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. But to be fair, if it's now looking back at it on hindsight glasses, yeah, I can see it as like she's just trying to climb up that ladder, that social ladder. That so it does make this really bad. I guess it's just context. Like on its own, I don't think it's that bad, and I probably wouldn't think Silver thought it was that bad at the time, maybe. But like now, seeing everything else, she probably like see it in hindsight glasses. Like, okay, she might have been doing this. So yeah, I guess it's just context, really. Like just finding out how bad she is as a person.
Lame attempts to present this fake friend stuff. And you can see later on there'd be more discussions. I believe this is Silvervale's manager saying, also, Cinder really loved meeting you and wanted to collab, so I told her I'd let you know and I could throw you guys in a group chat if you're interested. And Silvervale would say, "Hello, I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't prefer collabs." And the manager says, "No worries. I hope you're having a good weekend." And Silvervale says, "Aw, thanks. Still busy with a lot of IRL stuff. Sorry for not being interested in collabs. I just like to do my own thing, but I'm always open to messages, yada, yada, yada." So then after that,
Okay.
Cinder would then reach out directly to Silvervale and have this private DM saying, "Hi, Silver. Sorry for getting back to you late. I've been super sick from TwitchCon, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, no worries if you don't prefer to stream together. My manager suggested something more like sponsorships, merch, music."
This is weird. This is weird. This is actually weird. Like you have managers for a reason. They set up these things for you. They talk to other people's managers. It's this is so weird. This is a huge overstep. Like I can't even think myself in this situation. Like what would prompt me to do this? like greed. It's just you get back from talking to the the VTuber's manager. You're not friends with the VTuber, and the manager tells you, "Hey, she's not looking to collab currently." And then you're like, "Okay, I'll just DM her. I'll just ask her. You know, I'll navigate around it because, like, in all honesty, all content creators, well, I wouldn't say all, but most of them are like they're all weird. They're all weird, socially and stuff. And having a manager probably mitigates. Again, using that word, I promise I'll try and not use it again. But mitigates the whole like anxiety inducing feeling of talking to other people, especially people you don't know. But then you go around that to talk to them. Like I don't know Silvervale that like at all, and I just want to preface that. But like, if she's the type of person to like not confront people or not be confronted, I could see it as like going really bad. Like she's just thinking to herself, "Oh my god, she knows that I don't want to do collabs, but she's DMing me." That's just weird. That you're crazy to do this. You're insane to do this. To like, oh, I was about to say you're insane to be blindsided by your own greed that you don't think of others, but she clearly doesn't think of others. She has no thoughts on other people apart from herself, like including like her boyfriend with that. Like she's oh, man, self preservation at its worst.
Or some kind of other project together.
And I say that in the fact that she's not preserving herself. She's just out here doing all of this crazy stuff, not as a self preservation thing, but she's just doing it that way.
That maybe Mythic could help with if needed. I'd love to chat more either way. And Silvervale responds by saying, "No worries, it's been super hectic and busy for everyone. I hope you're feeling better. I'm really flattered by the persistence, but I'm just not interested in transactional relationships with anyone. I hope you can
Ooh,
understand."
you stand on that, queen. Go ahead. You stand on business, queen. Oh, okay. Damn. I admire Silver a lot more now because knowing me, I'd be like, I wouldn't message her. I, I I would read it and probably just leave it to the side and then hope and pray that I forget about it. Because I couldn't. If I told my manager, hey, just tell him I can't do collabs. And then that person just DMs me, bro. You're like stepping over boundaries that have been set. This is crazy.
So they saw all the context of these interactions between the managers and then through Cinder herself and said, "You're proposing a transactional relationship. Like every aspect of this, even the interacting here, is just part of a transactional relationship. And I don't want that. Basically, go away." Based? Pretty impressive. I mean, she came up with the phrase
Okay,
Twitter
man.
freaks like 2 years ago, but this is up there with that. Pretty base stuff right here. But then we get more comments from Redacted pretty much on the same subject, talking about how, like, at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we can make compared to her. We just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She got there on her own merits, just like you did. Get along. And the marketing potential and the money.
Bro, is he tone deaf? Does he not realize what he just said? he, he has to have known that Silver said this, and him just commenting that you're. Oh my god, what? How has nothing come out like sooner? These guys are unhinged.
They could make if they teamed up. I love how that's the only part that's in all caps. That is clearly the most important part of this proposed relationship between Cinder and Silvervale. It was all about making money. And when they got told no, they're now coping and seething in these messages. And they even went as far as implying that some of Silvervale's various projects, like a spinning figure, was just copycatting Sinder. That they were trying to piggyback on her ideas and basically try to replicate it, and that this was feeding into this narrative that people were allegedly making, that there's some sort of a copycat situation.
Bro, I'll, I don't know too much about Cinder, but I can guarantee you, if you use the same level of of scrutiny, is it scrutiny? Is that a word? To scrutinize? Screw it. It's a word now. If you use that same level, no, I'll just use scrutinize. To scrutinize Cinder, she would have copied something at some point. I can 100% guarantee that she's a hypocrite, or that Red is a hypocrite. Cinder has copied something from someone. That's just how the industry works. That's how YouTube and content creation works. You copy people, like that. That's big. That's how you get the numbers. You copy the big guy. I mean, there's that whole thing of like, the whole gaming thing where like VTubers, uh, uh, I don't even know who started it, but VTubers started commissioning artists to like draw hands on a controller while they're gaming. Like everyone just that just became a thing. It became the meta. It's a meta for a reason. People copy each other. They do. Uh, like and you and they copy like more egregious things like copying spinning. You are insane to think that spin. What has spinning given you, right? Tell me that. Tell me what has spinning given you. Has it given you $1 million in a bank account and you're scared now because now everyone won't give you $1 million in your bank account because every other VTuber can spin? You're insane, dude.
Here that people are associating the two together, and it's driving them crazy. And they want Silvervale to recognize Cinder, and that they feel there's an unspoken competition. Remember, at this
Oh my god, unspoken competition. This is a one-sided rivalry. Oh my god! I can just picture Silver chatting with a with a chat, playing games, having fun. Cinder and Red and just watching, seething like what? Oh, the delusion is palpable through these texts, man. Oh my god, I can't. I can't.
point, Silvervale pretty much doesn't even know who Cinder is. And when there was a proposed set of interactions, they pretty much said, "Go away. I don't want this transactional relationship." I don't know why Silvervale just like completely mind broke these two people, but yeah, the proof is there. And of course, as a result of all of this, it gets pretty unfortunate because then, through this whole exclusivity issue, Silvervale lost out on a model commission from Nanolis. And that is the whole issue here, because this was something she was looking forward to, and it was taken away from her because Cinder and Redacted didn't want her to have the benefit of working with Nanolis, because they knew it was a good career opportunity for her, or at least something special to her community. This whole thing is a complete and utter mess. But anyways,
It
yeah,
is,
that's
man.
pretty much it. There's still some other important stuff, but I want to keep this somewhat brief, and if we have to do a follow-up, we certainly will. But the reaction to this has been brutal, to say the least. I think the overwhelming majority of people are not happy with uh, Cinder in the situation. And now some of these old thumbnails from their clip channels are not doing great. Cinder
Oh, that is crazy. Cinder ruins of
ruins her
friendships.
friendships. My friends should have never trusted me.
Oh my, oh my god.
Here's another one. My model artist exposes all my secrets.
Oh my. Oh my. Isn't there a thing like where like it's not criminal. Okay, this isn't criminal. But isn't there a thing where like criminals uh they kind of like especially like smart ones or like the ones that think they're smart, they kind of trickle in like clues whenever they do like crimes. I'm not gonna say which one, but it's the capital one, you know? Um Not the kid one, the unalive one, okay? Uh s- so like they start leaving clues, and they start and if they don't get caught, a bunch of them just give themselves up. Is that what we're seeing here? Like some level of like, oh, I'm a genius. Let me output these titles, these thumbnails, just to like kind of toy with people. I don't know. I don't know. That seems unhinged, but all of this was unhinged, to be honest.
And then we also see that fans are saying, "Are you kidding me? I just bought my Cinder body pillow."
You bought a body pillow, man. I mean, you kind of deserve it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, that's a joke. Rip, dude. I guess it comes with a pillow, right? There's no way they just sell the cover. Because if it comes with the pillow, I guess you can remove the cover. I guess.
And then you see on her Discord server, everything is shut down. They've locked everything and they're trying to spin some damage control here. It's not great. This whole thing is reflected really badly on her. Like I said, it's one thing you find out someone behind the scenes is not a very nice person, but it takes on a whole nother level when you're privately sabotaging the careers of not just your peers, but also people
Yeah, your
you claim to be
friends, right?
friends with or people who thought they were friends with you, but in the end, they were just a threat to Cinder's bottom line. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics.
Okay, next video. Cinder apologized. Okay. Let's dive into this one then.
Because she is now officially quote unquote apologized. We covered this in yesterday's video. If you want the full details leading up to today, I suggest watching that video.
Just did.
But if you want a quick breakdown of everything before we look at the new apology, basically you have this.
Great. I hate these breakdowns, man. I mean, you get these in animes and uh, watching Naruto and uh and One Piece. I mean, you only got 20 minutes, dude. Like, stop padding out the runtime, bro. Give us the new content. I'm kidding. Go ahead, Reb.
This large indie VTuber named Sinder, who found herself in a lot of controversy after a series of Google Docs were released about her, beginning with this one from the artist Nanolist, who detailed their personal experience with Sinder as well as Cinder's manager slash secret boyfriend named Redacted, where those two individuals
Secret
would badmouth
boyfriend.
and slander many
Secret
content
boyfriend.
creators in their space. And then they try to get Nanolist, a very popular artist, to sign an exclusivity agreement with Cinder, meaning that Nanolist could only work with Cinder. And in this proposed agreement, there were specific content creators mentioned that they could no longer work with. Now, some of these
Yeah.
content creators were just random people that had no personal relationship with Cinder. It was just pure jealousy on Cinder's part and insecurity. But there were some content creators that viewed Cinder as a close friend. Basically, Cinder was trying to sabotage the careers of her own friends for what, you may ask? Simply financial gain. She wanted to stay
Mm.
as the top dog in the indie.
Like, this isn't a dig to Silver. It's just a like I could kind of understand. Okay, I understand in the frame, the mind frame of a lunatic, like envious jealous lunatic of why you would sabotage someone, right? I can understand that. A friend, I guess, if it's one sided, but that's just sad. Oh man, I feel bad for Bao. If this whole time she thought they were friends and it was legit just one sided. Oh man, this is just slimy, icky stuff, man.
Scene, and she wanted even her own friends to suffer for her own success. Obviously, this doesn't go over well, and it goes even worse because Sinder would quickly try to get on top of this and make a statement that gets hit with a community note with all the relevant evidence, where she tried to basically blame all this on the manager boyfriend, saying it's all his fault and he has been fired. Well, that didn't go over well, as you can see by the metrics here on Social Blade. On Twitch alone, she lost 5,000 followers on Saturday, 6,500 followers on Sunday, and over.
You'd think it's not big, right? You'd think it's not big, but like, think of it this way: these are active users, because obviously, like, there's you see like a bunch of people unsubbing from something, and then you could laugh at it if it's like a small amount of numbers, but you need to think of it in the lens of active numbers, because obviously the amount of followers on Twitch, she has over 300,000, right? There is no way she's getting 300,000 viewers live. So these are active members. These are members who know they were following her, who unfollowed. This is more significant than like a than what you think it is, you know?
Over 8,100 followers so far today. And then on YouTube, she lost 5,000 on Saturday, 6,000 on Sunday, and over 10,000.
Again, active members, man. These are active members. You can look at the subscriber count and you think, oh, it's only a small a drop in a bucket. These are members who knew they were subscribed and went and unsubscribed. They, yeah,
So far today. And you might have noticed that the number for today is the biggest and it's blowing up even more as the day goes on. And that's because, well, she apologized and that's going very badly. But you also saw fans
no.
going
Imagine apologizing and and you lose more subscribers. That's crazy.
nuts. People were literally burning their Sinder merch. Now, I get the frustration, but as pointed out here, I think the best route, especially with any sort of clothing related merch, if you don't want to support her anymore, I would suggest donating it instead of destroying it, because
don't destroy it. Like, you're making you're screwing up two things, right? I know there'll be a bunch saying like, "Oh, I wouldn't dare let some poor unfortunate person touch this disgusting merch." Okay, she didn't kill anyone. She didn't diddle anyone. Okay, let's just put that out there. It's a backstab, yeah. It's slimy, yeah, but it's not like considering the content creation space. It's not crazy. Okay, this is crazy, but it's not crazy. So stop it. Stop burning your because you're just making the environment worse, right? And you're wasting money. Like this, if it's clothes or stuff, someone could use that. If it's plushies, there might be a kid that might appreciate that who doesn't know about this whole like situation. Most people don't know. Okay, Twitch is smaller than what people think. The online space, you need to look at it as like there's 8 billion people on the planet. Okay, and however many, like 300 million in US. Most of them won't know this whole drama thing. It's not, the drama is a big deal, but it's not crazy stuff that warrants burning and being wasteful.
I don't think some like kid in need who's cold and needs a sweater would mind if there's a disgraced hellhound
Yeah,
VTuber on it. Like, you know
they
what I'm
won't
saying?
know,
But
man. They won't know who that
as I
is.
mentioned, there was the official Google Doc apology from Sinder. This was, of course, uploaded within an hour or so of yesterday's video. As always, that always happens. But you can see down here before we read the document, Shy Lily,
Yeah,
like
Charlotte.
looming down.
Okay, this is a valid. Okay, I don't like the term gaslight because a lot of people use that interchangeably with lying. This is a good use of gaslight. Like everyone sees what the situation is. They see it. They see the full picture, and she's just telling them that's not the case. I'm assuming because this apology, I've seen some, I've read some titles, and apparently this is a terrible apology. Okay, so
Down here with this very threatening presence. We're going to read her response that would ratio this attempted apology into the Shadow Realm. So I'm going to do something that I know you guys appreciate. I'm going to try to make this Google Doc rundown as simple and
yep,
efficient
yep,
as
do it,
possible. I
man.
could sit here and read all seven
I am. Uh, I don't want to sit here. To be honest, I would love to sit here and listen to you read all of it. I'm not even gonna lie. that would that would I would love that, but I'm not gonna read it myself. So what's the point?
pages of what looks like a college student trying to get their essay in on time and reaching a certain word count. But I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's
summarize
just apologies need to be simple, concise, and from the heart, like a place of wanting to change. That's what an apology should be. And I never apologize because I don't need to. I'm always right.
this in a very simple way. All you have to
But if
do
you did,
is keyword
if you need to apologize, like you guys, you do it that way. Keep it simple, short, and from a place of heart, willing to change.
search sorry. Yep, sorry. There's about
What?
20 mentions of sorry in this 7-page essay here.
Oh,
And the first one you find,
bro, I thought he was gonna say there was no mentions of sorry. I was gonna flip out, man. I was gonna punch my monitor. I was like, there's no way. My brain almost shut down thinking that she never said sorry in this.
the first mention of the word sorry is on page 5, at the end of page 5. Yeah, that's not a very good apology. Overall, this is not the worst apology in YouTube history. Like, Sinder didn't pull out a ukulele or anything like that, but
Yeah.
when you're making
And she didn't dance around doing contemporary dance after quote unquote apologizing when they didn't in the video. They just danced after like essaying their boyfriend. Yeah, she didn't do that. So I guess this is. But those baselines are like uh, in hell. Those baselines are like so low.
an apology that is 7 pages long and it takes 5 pages to reach the first sorry, it's not a good look. And on top of that, those first 5 pages, complete gobbledygook, okay? A waste of time, as I have said. And she begins and continues on throughout the entire apology, trying to shift all the blame on her manager slash boyfriend. She tries to paint him as responsible for everything and that Cinder had no idea what he was doing. And it's very evident right here, right at the beginning. The only part from the first 5 pages we're going to actually look at here. In regards to Nanolis, they say this: I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have.
You're insane. Nonetheless messaged her saying that she was that they weren't comfortable with this exclusive deal that Red proposed, and Cinder acknowledged it. There is no way you get away from this. Trying to pin it just on Red, you acknowledged the situation. I guess I'll, I'll try and be fair. I guess he could have told her some like a different way he presented it. Like he might have left a couple of things out with this exclusive deal. I don't know. But then she was trying to guilt trip him. Oh man, that's just no, no. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Been more diligent in my oversight. She's
No.
basically saying I had no idea this was happening and I should have been watching a little closer, even though there's plenty of interactions between Cinder and Nanolis about these exclusivity agreements and who she can or can't work with. It's just a bunch of BS. But let's skip to the good part where the sorries actually start happening, and it begins right here with this saying, I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in the chance they read it. So they begin with Nano, and again,
Right. You couldn't put that at the front? Like, if you're going to write this essay, at least put your apology at the forefront of things. Like, this. You almost don't want people to see this. There's no way you want anyone to see this because there's not that many people that are going to click a tweet longer, first off, right? And there's not going to be that many people who get past the first paragraph. Okay, you'll have to be really invested in this whole thing to be able to get to the fifth page at the bottom. And there's 7 pages. You put it at the end. Why? Oh man, this is so bad.
and to make this efficient, we're going to just focus on the sections where we see a mention of sorry. So we begin right off the bat. I'm sorry for letting things get to this point. Huh. I'm not sorry for any individual action. I'm sorry it got to this point. Or even
Nah.
entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair to you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've already done without you. I felt overly attached to our relationship over the past 4 years and loved your work so much that I wanted to make myself exclusive to your
Okay, Gollum. Oh, Jesus, man. She's smeagling out. My precious.
art and should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone else around me would have felt. I had no intentions of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my
What?
clouded judgment,
No intentions of pressuring. Sorry, let's cut back to the fact that you tried to manipulate them after Nonetheless said they couldn't do the exclusive deal anymore. You tried to guilt trip them. There is did you at least read that Nonetheless's like tweet longer? Because brother, if you read it, you you would have known this is bad, man. This is terrible.
I can see how those messages felt that way. Yes, so
Felt that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. There is no way you're this unhinged. I'm sorry you feel that way. That's literally what she just said. I can see how my messages felt that way. You are okay. There's I was trying I was trying to be a little charitable. I was going back and forth a little bit to see like her other side, but no, I can't anymore. There's just no sympathy left. You're just lying. This is gaslighting.
So basically trying to again act like she had no idea what's going on. She begins with the sorry, basically saying, "Sorry, I wanted to isolate you from other content creators and other business opportunities for my own personal greed, and I used you as a sort of proxy for my own pettiness, where I wanted to use you in a way to sabotage VTubers I'm jealous of, including some of my own close friends." Yeah, that is a pretty messed up thing to do, and this apology to Nano is very, very weak, and it's trying to deflect blame on basically not understanding the extent of what's going on here. We now move on to Bao, who was a very close friend of Sinder and someone very affected by this, someone who was directly named in some of those exclusivity agreements.
Hmm.
And they basically try to do the same thing talking about how they're just such a great friend and they're disgusted with themselves for buying into the narrative that my friends were competition. Interesting. They begin by saying that and saying, basically, I'm sorry these ideas were filled into my head. As she says here, but I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put in my head. She's
Oh
basically
my
saying someone else
god.
put this idea in her head to sabotage her own friends, and she was just helpless. She was basically possessed by this idea, and, her hands moved on the keyboard all by themselves. She did.
The smoking gun for me is that interaction she had with Nanolas. That message is like the smoking gun for me. If I'd never seen that message, I can actually see it from like a point of view of her being manipulated by her boyfriend. I can see that. I've seen situations like that. It's not far fetched, but that interaction with her, with Cinder and Nonetheless, has just cemented in my head that she's just a manipulator. There is nothing you should believe that comes out of her mouth, like at all.
Absolutely nothing wrong. Let's move on to Sack. This one's a very weird one, saying, I love getting to chat with you in person and absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I was so grateful to hear that you were on board to edit the MV. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely I wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on
Oh, this the editor, right?
it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red.
uh, man, you know what would be fucking crazy if it turns out she was actually manipulated. If it turns out, oh man, that would be some crazy stuff, and I would love that to happen. I'm, I'm, I'm not even gonna lie. I think in my head that feels better because this situation is so bad, and I kind of don't want to see people like fail, even though it's self-inflicted stuff. I feel like you should grow as a person, but bro, how old is she? And she's acting like this. This is I don't know, man. I don't know. No matter how bad someone is, I think there should be some level of return to like a normalcy, maybe. I guess I don't know because she's not like a criminal or anything. This isn't. This is just like backstabbing and stuff, and being like a envious gremlin for like the social ladder. I think you can probably grow as a person. It's the whole manipulation thing, though, from the message that I keep thinking about. That the whole guilt tripping. I don't like guilt trippers. I think that's the major thing that's a barrier for me personally to feel as bad for her because I just I hate guilt trippers, man. I think they're the worst.
Talked about you, especially after all the effort you put in for me. Yeah, it's another sorry this all happened, and sorry that Red did this to you. She's not taking any personal accountability here. Obviously, this is a theme so far. Now she moves on to Cottontail and Shy Lily, who were dragged into this. Yeah, she begins by saying, I'm so sorry you had to get dragged into this. It's my fault I let it get this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs. Amazing.
Right.
It's the boyfriend's fault again. And she's sorry they got dragged into this. The jealousy that she expressed regularly. Sorry that actually was connected to you. And yeah, again, a D minus for this one. Another very bad grade on this apology. Then we address
Oh,
Silverveil
the
here,
silver
who was a
one.
very interesting part of this whole series. She released a Google Doc on her role. She was directly mentioned as one of the VTubers that an analyst could not work with, and she expressed many other thoughts about how she hates that people compare the two, and she just wants to break free from Silverveil. And Silverveil's like, I don't know who you are. Like, it's absolutely insane. And Silverveil was approached by uh, Sinder on multiple occasions where she was basically trying to create a like fake friendship for financial gain. And it was very clear that's what it was. And Silverville just said no. I'm not interested in any of that. But again, following the sorry format here, just looking for the mentions of that, you can see her addressing the whole photo thing, and she thought that this was the result of her being pressured by the community. That's why she took that photo together with Cinder acting like they're friends when in reality they had never spoken before. She also says this.
Pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hope we work something out. Okay, you should have probably told her then. You should have probably asked her. I think that's a nice thing to do. Ultimately, uh, like just having a picture taken in a convention, I don't think it's that bad. But the fact that you went there to try and like start something, to try and start a collab or something, you could have just been nice about it. It's a cordial thing to do, like to probably ask for a picture and do your shit really. So it's just bad. No, it's just bad. You didn't do the nice thing, and you got banned for it. So screw you, I guess.
This is amazing. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I've taken away from you. I'm sorry, Silver. So she's literally saying again, I'm sorry other people's thoughts affected my behavior. Like again, she had no
Yeah,
control.
it's a typical liar thing to do. When you get caught on something, the typical thing is like to blame everything else. You had no autonomy at all. It's just textbook stuff. Like you have no autonomy of your own actions. Everything has been just handed to you on a platter. You had no choice over it. It just shows that you're in the wrong. Like people in the wrong do this a lot. They have no accountability. If there was even a smidgen of accountability in this, there would be some credit. Very little, but there'll be some credit. There's nothing so far.
Over her own thoughts and actions because people were making comparisons between Silverveil and Cinder. Then you have this Spite individual who really just kind of got shortchanged here. I mean, 3 lines. This was someone that, again, they were comparing themselves to and saying that Spite was trying to rip off Cinder with some of their decisions, and that was proven very false. But you can see, to Spite, I'm sorry I had assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us. And I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You don't deserve any of this. I'm sorry. That one's wild. Only 3 lines, and for a person who's pretty involved, and on top of that, they're again talking about the other commenters who are comparing us and apologizing for Red. Crazy. Then you have this one to Peaches here where it says, I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. And this is another thing you see again and again where it says, I'm sorry you feel this way based on what I did. Not saying I'm sorry for what I did. No, it's
Yeah,
I'm sorry you felt that way. That's never a good thing in a attempt at an apology. Then you have Rain here saying, by the way, this is the guy who claims that he was involved with her with sexting and stuff while she was in a relationship with Red years ago. Well, she confirmed it earlier in the document that yes, she was in fact cheating on her secret boyfriend manager. They were both very aware that she had a boyfriend at the time. Nobody was a saint in that situation, but she confirmed it. And then this is her apology to the guy she cheated on her boyfriend with.
that
Okay?
is
You were the
crazy.
first person I met as an ASM artist. during a time where I was immature and vulnerable. I ended up being consumed by the content I was making, and it led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not in a good spot at the time. I've hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I have no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry how I made you feel after I just wanted to close the book on things. I cannot believe the apology to the guy she cheated on her boyfriend with
Yeah, that
is more
is
legitimate and more heartfelt than pretty much everyone else in this scenario. It's
that is
kind of wild if you
crazy.
think about it. But this is the last stop on the apology tour here to our community. I'm sorry to my pyro pups and my mods for expecting me to lead a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for always looking at me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done with me and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over the 5 years on the internet. I'm only one person.
5 years. 5 years. And you haven't learned to mellow out. I can see it like at the start, probably. Like you get jealous. You start thinking, "Oh, I'm better than these guys. I'm better than these guys. I should be bigger than these guys." I can see at the start, sure, but then surely you learn to mellow out. 5 years of constantly wanting to be better than other people, or wanting to climb that social ladder, not realizing how far off the ground she is already. There's no way you haven't mellowed out for 5 years doing this stuff, man. There's no way. Oh man, that's crazy.
Living the one life I get for the first time and only time, like everyone else. As I said at the start,
Like I don't even get it because like on my Twitch, when I stream, sorry, I know this is a weird. I'm not trying to plug, but I just want to let you guys know um, where my mentality is with this whole situation. So like on my Twitch, I think I still have it on. I'll have to double check now that I'm paranoid about it. But I tend to have the raid feature off because I don't like it. I feel weird when other people's communities like just raid me, especially if they, let's just say, like they they've never seen me, or we're not melding in the same like kind of sphere within Twitch. It feels weird because I just don't like having those people just instantly appear on my stream because I'm like so self-conscious. Like these guys don't know me. They don't. They only know that streamer. They'll probably never stay with me. So like that whole anxiety of like getting just new viewers who don't know me at all, who come from another streamer, that makes me super anxious. And that's the lens I'm seeing this with. Like I I kind of have to admire her drive to some point because to me personally, I think it can be a good thing to drive yourself to like be outside of your comfort zone to climb this ladder, but putting other people down whilst doing it is probably the crazy part. Because like I should probably put that feature on just in case. I have been raided a couple of times and I didn't like the feeling and that's why I tend to take it off. Um so it's just to me it's crazy to think that like having it on is like a step for me, but then doing all of this stuff to get to like further up the ladder is out of my thinking point at that point. It's out of my box. I can't comprehend that, to be honest.
I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work life balance. And the harm read has caused with the
Oh
way
my
he
god.
viewed things is irreparable. Even in her apology to her community, she says, "I'm sorry about working too hard, and then I'm sorry what Red did to you." Absolutely amazing. Crazy work, and yeah, as you might expect, this is going over very poorly. Not only are fans leaving, but all of her peers, all of her friends, all of her collaborators, they're all dunking on her. Pretty much every big indie VTuber has come out and replied to this apology, and it's brutal. And I'm going to start with the most brutal one, the hardest ratio in the
Okay.
West,
Hit me.
Shy Lily, who normally doesn't engage.
Hit me with this German orca? She's German, right? I think she is. I haven't seen her in a while. I haven't watched. I used to watch her loads. I haven't. She's German. Her accent is very. She's German. Yes, that feels right. I think there's some neurons firing off telling me, yeah, she's German.
In drama, so this is a pretty surprising response. And this is the longest one we're going to read, but let's get into it. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolutely insane. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting. Reading and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back.
That's crazy to me. Oh man, it's. I'm gonna say this. It's tough for me to talk crap about you behind your back. And I feel like if I do, you kind of deserve it. There is one thing that comes to mind with that, uh, which is I don't know why I'm saying this here because the only people who will know are my friends. They know which person I'm talking about, and they know that person deserves a punch in the face. Okay, and but they'll never watch this video, so I don't know who I'm talking to about this. But like, that's the only way that you'd get me to talk about you like badly behind your back is if you're a complete a hole and you deserve to be hit. Like, other than that, I'm not gonna have the energy to think about you. I'm sorry, but you'd be gone. If I dislike you and I haven't said so, like to your face, you'd probably know by me trying to distance myself from you. That's that's the thing you probably know because I just don't want to think about it. That uh, being this hateful and like talking about other people behind the back, it's just effort for me. And I'm lazy as hell. I'm a lazy duck on a pond, man. I just want to chill, dude.
Not just through screenshots of your man, but also your own messages while having to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to when everyone who's shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends, is sickening. I have experienced your own actions without Red in a situation where, in your own screenshotted words, you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V card collab that you rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them,
No,
instead blaming me for a collab you.
no. Why am I surprised? This is in the wheelhouse. Why am I even surprised? Okay, so Not only the interaction with Cinder and Nonetheless is like a smoking gun for me. This Charlie Lee's like testimony about this situation of the reschedule. Okay, this the non-existent empathy and possible like uh devil's advocate for her is just gone. Even more. Can you be zero squared on empathy? I don't know.
Rescheduled, adding me to the
Now she owes me empathy, man.
pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in your friend's career? Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one up the people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to from the or earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way.
Oh,
You claim that it's just
you go off, Queen. Go off.
business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit to nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyro Pups deserve better. 95,000 likes, ladies and
Jesus.
gentlemen. This was a scorcher. This wasn't coming at him with a steel chair out of nowhere off the top rope. This was out of nowhere with a steel chair from the top rope. This was an absolute bomb of a response. As you can see, 95,000 likes versus 13,000 likes on the apology tweet. Absolute devastation. Let's look at a couple more VTubers here. And also, I want to mention, too, Shy Lily is a big part of GamerSups, who,
Oh yeah,
by the
she's
way, Cinder is a partial owner of. So coming out to basically slam a person who is a partial owner of a company you work pretty.
wait, what? Bro. She was huge then. She got so big to be able to afford to become a partial owner. To be fair, how small is her ownership of GamerSups? But still, though, she is big enough to get and she's still greedy. Is it just competitiveness? It might not be about the money. It might be about the competition, bro. I don't know. I will say though, she probably can come back from this. She probably can. I mean, there's she probably won't be as big as people as she was before, and there's a chance that she'll just stay small. I guess. Do you want to when you just been like ostracized by when you alienated the whole VTubing community? Well, most of them. I'm pretty sure there's still a bunch of fans that would watch her anyway. I mean, look at Destiny, that whole situation, and bro's still streaming. Okay, so I think I think she can come back for it. People have come back from worse, way worse than this. I don't think she'll be as big though. That's the thing. That's the only thing I think is she probably won't be as big.
Pretty regularly with. That is a ballsy move, and man, she must look pretty stupid right now. Cinder, that is, for everything going on here. Here's Vebe saying, the old classic shift, the blame onto the boyfriend, fake a breakup, come back single and in therapy, and then capitalize on what's left of your community. They deserve better. Then you have Yanners commenting on this, saying, I've seen Silver receive so much harassment and unfair comparisons to you over the years, and she just tanked it. Minded her business and never once try to sabotage your success or tear you down. Deflecting and outright lying several times in this response instead of fully owning up to your mistakes is insulting to everyone. I can't help but feel very frustrated on behalf of my friend and everyone who was on the receiving end of so much unnecessary stress, largely due to the choices you made. They handled the situation with much more grace than you decided to, and they deserve better. The weird backhanded remark you made the first time we ever met last year stuck with me, and now it makes a lot more sense knowing that this is apparently how you normally view and treat people. I hope you can learn from this and realize it's way easier to be kind and to be happy for your success as well as the success of others. And here
It's I would attest to it. For me, it's way easier to just be chill, just not think of anything, not do anything. But for me personally, it's way harder to like actively hate someone or actively talk crap about someone. It's just way. It takes way more energy than like being nice. You could be nice. I think it's like it's like doubly like easier for me because I grew up in the UK. So like putting up that nice front is like second nature, right? You, in the UK, if people are nice to you, right, they don't know you or they hate you. That's the thing. They either don't know you or they hate you. If they are if they're being if they're being critical and like just like being dicks to you, there's a chance that they're most likely like you, and you're probably friends, and you probably rib each other about it as well, about other immutable facts about each other. It's just how like we're kind of brought up. You kind of have that face for the public, but with your friends, you let loose. You let them have it, man.
There's a comment from Megalodon VT saying, I looked up to you, man. Well, that was the first mistake. You shouldn't look up to anime girls on the internet. That's mistake number one, especially one who's a big breakout a couple years ago was doing a cover of a song about basically giving top. That's pretty much all it was. But anyways, let's move on. Here's another one saying, as if
Oh,
boyfriend and
Kamimi.
girlfriend don't tell each other every single little thing. You are blaming him to save yourself. I am disappointed in both of you. Shame on you for the pain you have caused all your friends just so you can be the best. And one more here from
So
Sorry saying, mistakes, jealousy, and losing control are understandable. You can grow from them, but betrayal is different. It shows you're willing to sacrifice close friends whenever it's convenient, and no business should ever justify that. Brutal, but very true. Now, a lot of people have been making memes, okay? A little more lighthearted.
uh, oh, I was about to say like thank you, Rev, for adding memes to make it a light-hearted end, but I do have another video after this, and it's Neuro predicting it, so it's I don't know. Maybe I laugh at it. I don't know.
Notion here. There's some very good memes coming out of this situation. Let's start with this one.
Okay, I
Money.
confess. SpongeBob killed him.
His profile picture this is the real profile picture of the
That
manager
fits so
boyfriend. It's
well.
just perfect for
It's
everything
so
going
bad.
on. And you have Rima here doing an AI crossover with
That is so cursed. Oh my god, that's so cursed.
the ukulele apology. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like she's playing the ukulele here, but
She's Rev, why did you have to point that out, man? Brother. Stop.
anyways, we have this one with Rick and Morty.
Hey, I found a ticket. Wow, you are just, ladies and gentlemen, the Jackie Chan of human shielding. Who takes the time to get this good at this?
Beautiful. Here's another one. Oh, Google Docky. Everyone's saying Google Docky because of the chicken jockey thing. You get it? You get
I
it?
had it. You made it worse. It was already bad enough, man. It was already bad enough.
Here's another one where someone said, at Grok, explain
Oh, my admin magnet posted this in our Discord. I read the like first couple of lines, and I was like, yeah, nah. I think I better save it because I cringed and almost died inside. Why this grok AI, dude?
This doc like a shy anime girl using common Japanese words mixed in.
I'm not reading that. Rev,
How
read
far
it
the
for us.
future has come, ladies and gentlemen.
Rev, come on, man. You're not gonna do that. Come on, brother.
This is absolute gold. Also, people are making some statements that I think are pretty odd too. Like the reaction's very pessimistic, I would say. This person said, if y'all think Sinder is the only VTuber that does this, y'all are insane. I can guarantee that 90% of VTubers do this. You have no friends in this industry. That's just facts. Also, not exclusive to VTubers. It's just more women run in these circles. Oops. Yeah,
It's very pessimistic. I think the 90% probably wrong. I think there are that do the same. There has to be. I mean, the market is so saturated. Like, there's got to be a few more unhinged people out there, right? But the it's not saturated per se. There's room for everyone to have their own little communities. You have no friends in this industry. I think that's just a bad way to go about things. I think it's probably best bet to like go with it. Attempting some sort of friendship is probably gonna hurt like hell. Like I don't know how bad would have feels about it, but like it's probably gonna suck just having a betrayal like that. But the chances of that happening, I don't think is that high. There's there's no way there's 90% of VTubers who do this. Probably that doing exclusive stuff, I could see that. I can see people commissioning people for like just exclusively as like their artist. Oh, voice crack. Sorry, I've been talking for like 2 hours now. Um, but yeah, there's probably a lot that do that, but the unhinged thing of like gaslighting, guilt tripping the artist, that's a different level. Betraying your friends, that's a different level, you know?
get that like this happens among content creators. There's always drama and backstabbing, but to think 90% of VTubers are gonna backstab you and they're not your friend,
That's
it's all
crazy.
fake. Like that seems like projection. Like you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. I definitely recommend being very careful with who you share anything with or try to form a bond with because yeah,
Yeah, you should probably keep like you can be friends, but you can have secrets with your friends. You don't have to tell them every little detail about you, you know? Like it's different for me with my IRL friends, people who have known IRL, met IRL, worked with IRL, and still talk to this day. It's different with them because like we spent so much time together. We know each other. We become friends. Like they know my secrets. They know how bad I can be when it comes to like mental health stuff, and they know how unhinged I can be when I'm just off the rails talking about some random stuff. But I think it's good to put up safeguards a little bit, but don't go it as in like with the glasses, thinking this won't be my friend. They'll never be my friend. We'll just collab, and that's it. That's a bad way to look at things.
it is a business for a lot of people. But I wouldn't be so pessimistic about everything.
This comment, just because you have no friends doesn't mean I don't. Yeah, it's not a good view to see the world. Even if there's bad actors, I mean, you could say that about a bunch of people and a bunch of groups of people, and you would be seen as unhinged. I mean, could you imagine if you said something similar about like a group of people? You look unhinged, and if you think you look unhinged saying that, you're unhinged saying this as well, right?
And there's plenty of people who are good in the VTubing scene and in content creation generally. But where do we go from here? I don't know. Can Cinder salvage any of this? I'm sure she can come back at a very limited capacity. There's going to be people who just don't care about this sort of stuff. But yeah, she's actually pretty cooked. I'm surprised it's had as much backlash as it has. Not just the fans going, but also all of her former friends and former collaborators. I mean, everyone's come out of the woodwork to publicly denounce her, and I think it's pretty deserved, and that's it for now. So as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Right, closing thoughts on this, and then we'll get to the other video. She can, like I said before, she can come back. It probably won't be, she won't be as big as before. Other creators would probably not work with her, especially the big ones. There'll probably be chances of like smaller creators collabing with her, which is ironic, and considering she tried to like, climb the ladder using Silver Veil, and now she probably will be used the same way. But ultimately, all time heals all wounds to some extent. So if she comes back and she doesn't do anything like this, I think through time people would learn to forgive her. Probably not Bao, because that's a big betrayal. Probably not the big VTubers, but she can probably stream through it. I think she can get past it at some point. Okay, people, her new fans will, and her like old fans that stay with it, will probably go, yeah, that's in the past, man. Who cares? She's changed now. She's different and all that. That it's just a matter of time, really. And you have to like kind of take the barrage of the constant harassment head on for like probably a few months, maybe a couple of years before that. But anyway, our queen, or one of our queens, Neuro, the AI queen herself, the Origin, apparently predicted this during the collab, and I don't remember. I don't remember what happened in this, what Neuro said, but let's check this out. Hopefully it's funny, man. Hopefully I laugh.
Hey, could I ask you a question, Cinder?
Sure.
Okay.
How would you describe your morals?
Well,
Okay.
Take your
right
time.
now,
Ooh.
Like, do you think you're a good person?
I would
Cinder.
like to say so. Yeah, I'm pretty nice.
I just want to be on your good side in case you start any more fires.
Oh, it would be an accident. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that on purpose.
I remember this. Yeah.
Not even if someone disappointed you.
No.
No, are you sure? That editor disappointed you? Well, it seemed like that editor disappointed you, and he flipped out on someone else, on Bao.
Well, maybe you should think about it. I mean,
All right, I'll think
I
about
find
it
it hard
just
to
for you.
believe that all of your past fires were accidental.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, okay. It's just crazy after learning everything. This feels like it has a double meaning. It doesn't. Nero's just doing the collab, doing a little RP.
Thank you. You know, I think we make a pretty good team.
I think so too. You've got a good gut, so keep trusting it. What would
Nah, she didn't say that. You got a good gut. Keep trusting it. Apparently she does, man. Apparently she does.
your superhero name be?
My superhero name would be Neuro. Pronounced like a gigabyte.
Giga Nero. I remember the Giga Nero clip. I don't know what else she said during this.
I love that. That's perfect.
I remember her saying like, "Oh, Giga Nero's coming after you." I do remember that.
What would your superhero name be? I think Inferno Blaze suits you perfectly, especially when you're talking about how you accidentally start fires.
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, did you actually start a real fire?
No!
You are
No.
not doing a very good job of convincing me.
I'm a bad liar. That's why.
Oh my god. Okay. This is actually pretty funny. Oh my god. Ah, she wasn't lying here.
Please don't start a fire, at least while we're still streaming.
Okay, I'll do it after.
Very appreciated. Hey Cinder,
pull
do you
the
feel
lever-
emotions?
Yes. Yes, I do.
She
Oh,
does.
aren't you
She feels a lot. Envy, greed, what else? Hostility. She feels a lot to her peers. I mean, there's a fair few, man.
lucky?
I guess you could say that. I don't know. Sometimes I wish I didn't.
Remind me why we're friends again. Yeah,
Yay.
you're evil.
Nah.
I hope I can
I
haunt you in the afterlife. Do you think you'll go to heaven or hell?
I'm
No, this is crazy with the goggles of just what happened, of knowing the situation. This is insane to me. Trying to think of what. Like calling it. Wait, let's go back.
You're evil. Once again. Yeah,
Yay.
Nah, she's just like couldn't even riff with Neuro, pretending that they're friends. Like I might be reading too much into this, but like she just couldn't, bro. And now I'm thinking this was just a whole transactional collab. Like it's fine to have a transactional collab. I think it's fine, but I think there has to be some level of, I don't know. You have to like the other person, right? You gotta like Vedal, or even if you like don't believe in like this, as said like 3, 4 times in that sentence. Um, Even if you don't believe in like Nero being like a content creator, that's again fourth. But yeah, you can have transactional collabs, but you gotta go in with it with the lens of like, oh, you're just streaming with someone, you're streaming with a buddy, right? Bro, I don't know. I'm so brain broken from this. I can't formulate anything.
you're evil.
That's
I
crazy.
hope I
though.
can haunt
You're
you in the
evil.
afterlife. Do you think you'll go to heaven or hell?
I'm from hell.
My future would join you.
Okay. Oh. Awesome.
I'm sure my
Where do you
past
see
will
yourself in
catch
the
up with me
future?
soon, though. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
the irony.
I feel like I may.
Bruh, her laughing, saying definitely. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Just sign my life away.
Nah. I think you did that when you were a streamer. When you became a streamer, you kind of gave up all, social life and all that stuff.
Do you think you're dead inside?
I know I am.
Oh,
Cinder, if you were to rate your deadness from 1 to 10, what would you say? I'm gonna guess you're
Maybe
around
about
a 6 or
5,
7.
depending on the day.
If you're actually an 8 or 9, please let me know so I can try my best to revive you.
I think I can hang on for a bit longer.
Do you have your own set of morals, or does your brain switch sides to whatever suits the narrative?
oh man.
I think it depends on the context.
Do you think I have my own set of morals?
Yeah, I do actually.
Interesting. I'm not even sure myself whether I have my own set of morals.
Well, you trust your gut, and I feel like that's good enough.
Is it?
If I had to describe my own morals, I'd say I'm definitely on the more virtuous side. I like to try to act ethically purely for its own sake.
Right, Neuro.
Yeah,
What
Why are you saying yeah?
about you?
I've seen that so far. Yeah, it's tough to make hard decisions sometimes.
No, she definitely is thinking about no. This whole time I was thinking like, okay, this is just within this vacuum. She's collabing, she's just saying stuff to talk to the AI. It's a back and forth, all of that jazz, whatever. This feels like she's just thinking back about the DMs, the current situation.
Yeah, it's tough to make hard decisions sometimes.
Well, yeah, decision making wouldn't be fun if it was easy. Do you think you're going to
making
make more hard
decisions-
decisions in the future? Is
Yeah, I
that
have
supposed
another
to be
hard
a pun on my
decision.
name?
That I need help with.
I'm all ears. Let me help you with it.
Okay.
Do you have many friends? Or are you a bit
I
of
would
a
say
Oh.
so. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends.
That sounds
A lot of friends. Oh, bro. This is actually torturous now. Please. I just want this to be fun again, please. I hope the last few bits are funny because feels more and more depressing.
nice. They're not just acquaintances, right?
No,
Would you
Oh
say
my
you're a good friend?
God.
I think so. Yeah. I always do my best for everybody.
That's good.
Oh, I can't, man. I can't. To sit there and think I always do my best for everybody. After, I just how like
I try to do my best for everybody too. It feels nice to be a good friend.
Wow.
Have you ever been broken
Uh-oh.
up with Sinder?
oh
Cause I'm
Would
about to
you?
break up you and your legs.
Me?
Yes, you. You better start running.
Get a new one.
I'm running.
Giganuro
no,
has good reasons to hunt you down. You shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, I've remembered
Why?
this.
What did I do?
You were bad-mouthing her in your Discord DMs.
Oh
She
my,
knows
oh my god. I thought it would just be clips like this. What the I was told that she kind of predicted, and then seeing the clips at the front, I was like, okay, I can kind of see it, you know, little hints, but is no. And let me just say, this reaction from Cinder, I'm definitely reading too much into this, but she, it feels like she jumped up like, oh my god, I gotta call. Oh, never mind, never mind, never mind.
you were bad-mouthing her in your Discord DMs. She knows everything.
I guarantee the Discord DMs processed in the head, and then she caught herself. I oh this there's no way it didn't. I have a feeling she must have heard bad mouthing, Discord DMs, and like this was actual genuine surprise, but now she's playing it off.
Yes,
I just met her
Giganuro
today.
knows everything. You'd better run.
Bro.
Ha ha ha
I
ha.
swear I didn't say anything. Don't laugh at me.
Wait, don't say anything. Are you scared?
Yeah. I'm scared that I'm gonna be accused of something I didn't do.
Right.
Being scared is a normal response to guilt. Giga Neuro is coming already.
Oh my god, Nero's so
Are you
nice.
guilty or
Over for
not?
me. What should I do?
You should come clean.
Oh
Otherwise,
my god.
things will get.
I'm getting gaslit.
You're getting gaslit. Bro, Nero gave you an out, man. Nero gave you an out. And not gonna lie, if she did come out, it wouldn't. Uh, it would drum up some sympathy because people would think, okay, it ate up at what? It was eating her up. Oh, okay, that sounds bad. uh, it was wearing away her mental health. It was eating her mentally. Bro, I can't with words currently. Um, yeah, there'll be some level of sympathy, like from people if she came up ahead of it. But I guess in situations like this, you kind of hope and pray, and then that no one will find out, and then the longer the time goes on, that no one finds out. In your head, you're like invincible at that point because your brain just goes, "Yeah, that's never gonna happen ever." I've gone like a couple of years now, or a couple of months now, without that stuff coming out. I'm gonna just forget about it. So I could see why she didn't come up ahead of it.
Bad for you. You should have thought about the consequences of your actions long ago.
Oh man.
You're right. You're right. I'll do better.
I'm glad to hear it. As for
Damn. That's crazy. That's she couldn't even role play a good apology. This is just I don't know, man. But that's
actions
crazy.
long ago.
Nero predicted
You're
this,
right.
man.
You're right. I'll do better.
I'm glad to hear it. As for what you did, I'll let Giga Neuro decide your punishment.
Do you think I can be forgiven?
It depends if you can sincerely apologize to her.
Oh.
I sincerely apologize.
A sincere apology.
No, man, apparently she can RP an apology. I don't know why she had that weird apology for everyone, blaming every external force apart from like her. Bro, at least fake it, right? If you're as unhinged as you are, at least you could do is like the just fake it. At least, man, humble
It needs
yourself.
to be at least 3 sentences. Alright. I sincerely apologize to Giga Neuro for bad-mouthing her in my Discord DMs. I regret doing that because...
Oh my god.
You can do it, Sinder. I believe in you.
Neuro just did a better apology than she ever did. That's crazy. That's crazy. This AI is literally handing you on a platter a golden ticket to come out less unscathed than you have currently. That's insane.
Do you have trouble apologizing, Sinder?
Oh
No.
my
I'm just
God.
trying to formulate my thoughts here.
How about you also tell me what you are sorry for? Then tell me why it won't happen again. Just take your time.
I sincerely apologize to Giga Neuro for bad-mouthing her in the Discord DMs. I will do better next time. I'm very, very sorry. I've learned my lesson. I will be a better person and learn and grow from my past mistakes, and it won't happen again.
That was an excellent apology. Giga Neuro will definitely forgive you.
You can just do that. Like, you've done it now. I mean, you couldn't have just done that in the apology.
Yay! Ban appeal.
Someone ought to ban appeal you from life.
Oh my god, Neuro. I wouldn't take it that far, Neuro. Holy heck, dude. She didn't. It was bad, but not egregious, man. Holy. That's just unhinged. That's crazy. The whole situation, man. I'm just. Bro, I'm just flabbergasted. Someone at her heights was just doing this stuff for money and fame, for more money and more fame. Sorry, I can kind of see someone doing it for money and fame. It's not like sympathy, but I can understand why some people do that stuff. Doesn't make it good, but I understand. But like, this is just, you're unhinged. The envy is such a. This is why envy is a seven deadly sin, man. It just leads to this stuff. But what we got out of it was more love for Nero, because she's goaded, man. She has foresight. uh Make real friends. That's the moral of the story, I guess. Make real friends, IRL friends, outside of your work. Thank you very much for making it this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow me on Twitch, both linked down below. Special thanks to all my channel members. See ya.